Okay, children, I'm starting with the story, Should Wizard Hit Mommy? As I told you, the story is about a small girl and a father. The little girl is used to hearing stories at bedtime. The story begins by telling us about Jack, who has two little kids. Jack is the man, the leading character, we can say, and the entire story, not the leading exactly, because the story, moreover, revolves more around Joe. The two kids are Joe and Bobby. Joe's wife, Claire, was pregnant with the third one. Thus, to put her daughter Joe to bed, Jack would make up stories for her daughter. This storytelling tradition started when Joe was 2 years old and, and thus continued ever since. Jack makes sure that he tells a different story every time to make it interesting. However, a small creature was always common. Common creature ever was there every time, whose name was Roger. For instance, it was Roger Fish, Roger Chipmunk. Roger goes to the wise old owl with problems. That owl would further direct him to a wizard, and thus the wizard's spell would solve the problem after the payment of certain pennies. Now, the story begins by telling us about Jack has two little kids. The kids are Joe and Bobby, as I told you. Uh, so Jax makes sure that he tells an interesting story to her daughter every time, to his daughter every time. Now that Joe is growing up, it is getting difficult to put her to bed for nap time in afternoons. Thus, one day, Jack decides to tell her a story about Roger Skunk. Now, in this story, the character is Roger Skunk. There is a little skunk that always smelled very bad. This skunk had a very filthy smell coming every time. So it is so bad that no animals play with him and it is always alone. This Roger Skunk decides to go to the wise old owl. As usual, the owl sends him to the wizard. The wizard, with his spells, asks Roger Skunk about his wish. He expresses he wishes to smell like roses, to which the wizard agrees. Right? Now, after that, all the animals start playing with Skunk. Now, because of this major change, because now he's got a smell, fragrance of roses. And he plays till it gets dark. Finally, Roger Skunk goes home to his mommy. Joe thinks the story is over. But still, Jack continues the story. Right? Jack continues the story after that also. Now, here is the turning point. When Roger Skunk comes back to his mother and the mother can feel the fragrance of roses coming out from his child. The child was very happy because all the friends who were ignoring him earlier, they used to run away from him because of the filthy smell which came out of him. Now they happily played, they were playing with him. But mother, when realizing all these things, she scolded the child and took her to the wizard. Right? Now here mother takes an action. The mother tells the wizard to return back that filthy smell to her child. Right? When wizard denies to do so, mother hits the wizard, right? And the wizard has to give that filthy smell back to Roger Skunk. Roger Skunk, the child who was crying badly, the mother didn't pay attention to any of her talks, and here the story ends. Right? Now, Joe here shows her opinion. She expresses her opinion. She opposes her father on this point and tells her that this is wrong. Why mother did that? Nobody was playing with the girl, with the child. So if Roger Skunk has got a fragrance of roses, why mother went to the wizard? And mother hit the wizard to get that filthy smell back. So the girl, Joe little girl, really and very strictly, severely, she opposed the notion laid by her father. Right? Now here comes the question. What the father did, was it correct? Why the father narrated the story in that manner? Even when the little girl started crying and started complaining about it, father didn't want to change it. Perhaps he wanted to convey a message to the girl. What was it? Right? What does the writer want to convey through this ending? Is the ending apt? These are certain questions which are generally put forth before the students even during the board exams. We can stop here.